What a day. The last couple of days online have been a bummer. So I wanted to do a quick, super traditional vlog, which is me just talking to a camera, which will be playing in nearly 4,000 people's homes, many of which I've never met. But I wanted to share some thoughts I had today as a blogger and vlogger, and it was based on two things: a speaker I watched this morning on YouTube, and some comments I made on Facebook that erupted in a shitstorm. So this morning, um, unrelated to the Facebook thing, besides the fact that I had more time since I wasn't on Facebook, I was sent a link by a reader of this talk done at an event by Heather Armstrong. I think it was the XOXO talk. And I don't know anything about her. I mean, I should know more about the blogosphere, but I don't. But from what I understand, she's a big deal, and she's a very popular blog, and some of you may or may not read it. But from what I watched, I was really touched because she did this talk basically about being a human being and how much shit she gets for that. And someone then sent me a link to like her hate mail, and I was reading these things, and it was oddly comforting. There were horrible things, like the most vapid, bitchy, anonymous shit, like the worst of the worst online comments. And I sat there with a cup of coffee this morning reading these comments, and I actually felt comforted by them. Not because I think she deserves any of this. I don't know a thing about her. I just know that I get those comments too. And seeing another person with a whole different life, with like in another state, who was raised in a whole different way, but she's putting herself out there online. And so people are just angry. They're just angry, and they were saying the exact same things to her that I get. And compared to her, I mean, I'm sure I get a tiny amount, and I'm sure, my readership, I'm sure, is a billion times smaller. But what is alike in our situations is that we're two women putting our stories online, and in this world, just being a woman writing and making a living doing what you love is enough to make people pissed. So I listened to her talk, and her honestly saying things that a lot of bloggers are scared to admit, that she was making money off sponsored posts, which were publicly sponsored posts, but she was basically putting her kids in situations they didn't want to be in because it was her job. And she realized it wasn't what she wanted to do anymore. So she kind of backed out of the money side of blog things. And I just had a lot of respect for her. I know we're all people, and we're all doing our best to be our best and just make our way through every day. And you've got problems, and I got problems, and you got dreams, and I got dreams. And I happen to be one of the idiots who feels the need to share her thoughts with the entire world. And for better or for worse, you're watching this, which means you're somehow invested. And for that, I'm grateful. But I'm also scared because I read stuff online that physically scares me. And it comes from people who don't like me. And it's been everything from posts on animal rights websites to like hate blogs to just obsessive comments to whatever it is that's out there. It is scary because at the end of the day, I'm a woman living alone in the middle of nowhere who doesn't know what's inside of people. There are a lot of things to be angry about in this world. There's a lot of people to get pissed off about. But if at the end of today you have food in your stomach and a roof over your head, you are ahead of millions of people that are going to not be able to sleep tonight because they're scared and hungry and alone. If you've got a spouse to lay down beside and you know where your next paycheck's coming from and you've got at least a couple of bills figured out, you're ahead of a lot of people. You're certainly ahead of me. And that's something to be joyous about and happy about and grateful for. And so many of us that aren't actually in danger of being refugees, of being accosted online, of anything. If we're so many of us are just fine, and we're spending a lot of time looking for reasons not to feel fine, and it's killing us. And I think we should just stop and pour yourselves a drink, and you know, put on your favorite outfit and just have some fun and a little less anger in us. The anger I saw on Facebook over strangers you've never met by people who don't have a single Muslim friend was atrocious. And the comments I get online and the websites I won't go to because they scare the shit out of me. Um, those things shouldn't be a part of our world, but they are. And people can say whatever they want in a free world. So I guess I'm just grateful to be deemed important enough to be on those kind of sites. Thanks. You're my biggest fans, girls. Tonight, I'm going to be warm. I got a fire. I've got great dogs. I've got a life that I've kicked my own ass to get, and I'm grateful for every day. And I'm going to find some way to keep it, even when it gets really scary. And I've spent months like these mostly just trying to keep my bank account positive, meaning like above negative money, not like positive, like go money, like in the black as opposed to the red. Things get tough and they get scary and I get behind and I'm just doing my best. But being positive and choosing compassion over anger is the most important thing we can do on the internet these days. So I'm looking into ways that I can actually personally help the Syrian refugee crisis. I got some information from a woman online who works with communities and stuff. I belong to a community organization that hopefully can volunteer as a group. And I don't know, I'm going to see what I can do because it's really easy to sit at your computer and type about why you're so angry with this world. And it takes a lot more and feels a lot better just to help one person make things a little easier on themselves. So that is my rainy day vlog. Thank you for watching. Now go and do something nice for anyone, really.